Yo, what is up guys? We are back and today we have ourselves an unboxing which we have not done in a very long time. I feel like the last one of these we did was probably when Labo came out, and that ended up turning into a 9-hour or I think 10-hour like torture stream because I was determined to build all of the Toy-Con in one sitting, which I bit off a little bit more than I could chew with that one. If you haven't seen that video, it's somewhere. But we have ourselves an unboxing today, so let's go see what we got. Alright, so here we are. Let me just go ahead and move this out of the way. Alright, so now we're here. We got our package. Actually, now I think about it, that just showed my address. It probably didn't show up. If it did, I'll edit it out. But yeah, let me figure out how to open this. Looks like there's some kind of tape on the top here. There we go. Listen to this. Listen. That was a good peel right there, not gonna lie. Alright, so we're gonna pop this open. Dig inside, and you will see we got ourselves a little something. Now, before we get into what this is, you might already be able to see what it is. But before we get into what this is, I have wanted these for a very long time. It's not something we're going to use on the channel very often at all, which is why I did not make it a donation goal, because it's more of a personal thing for, like, me personally. But I finally got them, and we're going to unbox them. And if you haven't figured out what this is yet, it is the Daemon X Machina edition Hori Split Pad Pro. Now, I have wanted these for a very long time. So let's go ahead and open this up. And we'll see. Let's see here. I should get like a knife or something. I have a pen. That'll work. There we go. When you don't have a knife, use a pen. Let me just throw that on the ground there. There we go. Pick that up later. Alright, put this pen in here, and there we go. Work your magic, little buddy. Alright, let me just put that pen back, because I need that for stuff. And we'll just reach on in here. There we go. Let's see. Does that make a satisfying sound? Let's see. I don't know, kind of. Anyway, so we can go ahead and toss this aside. And here we go. So we have some sort of instruction manual. We don't need that. There we go. And actually, we probably will need that because this thing has programmable buttons. So we probably will need that. But yeah, I'll get it later. It's in the void of non-existence. Everything that way does not exist, so I'll have to travel into another dimension to get it back. But here we go. So we're gonna pull these out, and they do have them wrapped in a sort of like styrofoam-ish material, as you can see here. So we're just gonna go ahead. Actually, that might be a very satisfying sound. Is that satisfying? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and bring these out. There we go. There's one of them. And I've got to say, initial impressions, this is a beefy controller. That is beefy. That is a chunky Joy-Con. And I've got to say, the buttons are slightly mushier than I was expecting. I was expecting them to be a bit more tactile. But overall, that's a beefy Joy-Con. That is super beefy. Now, it's interesting to note the rail for this Joy-Con still has, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, still has like the indicator lights. It doesn't actually have lights in there, I don't believe, but it still has the slots for the indicator lights, which is very interesting considering you can only use these in handheld mode. So I don't know why you would still need those slots there. I guess they just used rails that they already had. I guess it's cheaper just to use the generic rails they already have than to make ones without the indicator lights. But that is interesting. That is interesting. This thumbstick is a massive improvement over the Joy-Cons. So let's go ahead and get our other controller here. We'll just bring these guys out. There we go. And look at that D-pad. That's a hefty boy right there. And it feels, again, a little bit mushier than I would have liked. But it feels like a D-pad. Which is a step above what the Joy-Cons have. I will say the trigger buttons are nice, though. They have very short travel on them, which is great. I honestly feel like playing Smash with these would be somewhat enjoyable. I mean, obviously, you always go for the GameCube controller when it comes to Smash. But, I mean, they don't have GameCube controller, like, slide-on Joy-Cons. If they did, I'd already own them. So this is a nice alternative, I think. So, I think next what we need to do is actually put them on the Switch. So, I have my Switch here. And, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for now. I just want to see kind of what this looks like. So, little side-by-side comparison here. This is the right Joy-Con for the Nintendo Switch. This is actually a Sonic Forces skin I have on there. And then this is the right Joy-Con that I just bought. And you can see it's much, much beefier. This is actually more in line with like a proper controller. It's as if they took an Xbox controller and just like kind of cut it in half and then put it on either side. Let's go ahead and slide this thing on here just to see. Look at that. That'll give you an idea of the difference we're looking at here. Oh my god. Alright, let's slide this other one off and we'll put this on. This is like Sega Game Gear levels of hefty. It doesn't add a whole lot of weight to the Switch, which is nice. These are actually very light controllers, which usually I would not like a light controller, but when you take into consideration that a lot of the heft of this controller is the Switch itself, it's actually very nice that these are light, because it doesn't, you know, you already have the weight of the Switch there. You don't want it to be too heavy. So this is definitely, this is getting a little ridiculous here. But there we go. So that's like some Sega Game Gear type shit. But yeah, we can see here everything feels natural, which is nice. I have access to all of the buttons fairly easily. Is there a capture button on this? There is. There's a capture button and a home button. Okay. We have all the buttons. That's very nice. I've like pimped out my Switch. I have a metal stand on the back with an extra micro SD tucked in there. And then, that's actually from Nyko. And then I have my tempered glass screen protector, which I actually need to get a new one because this one's cracked. And then I have these massive Joy-Con. I mean, these are massive. This adds, like... I'd say this adds, like, an extra, like, Joy-Con and a half to the Switch. If that's a unit of measurement we want to use. So, I think the next thing we ought to do is power the Switch on. It is important to note that these do not support rumble of any kind. They do not support NFC, and they do not support gyro as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm aware. And they also do not have internal batteries, so they can only be used in handheld mode. Which some people out there might be wondering, well then what the fuck is the point? Well, I can already say this is immensely more comfortable than using the Joy-Cons in handheld mode. Because the Joy-Cons are meant for like little baby hands. I don't have little baby hands. So this is a lot more comfortable. It gives you actual like grip. If you look there, it gives you actual grip to hold on to, which is very nice. And it looks like everything is working. I'm not sure how I'm actually going to be able to demonstrate gameplay here because I can't actually, you know... I guess I could do this, but then I don't really have proper use of the controller. This would be a good time for me to have a secondary camera that just kind of like goes over top. I do have another webcam. Maybe I'll set up something like that. But I'm loading up Pokemon, which I will have a full review of Pokemon Sword and Shield going up tomorrow. Those of you who are Bread Warrior members actually could have watched it last night. You can still watch it now if you want. But it'll be going up for everybody else tomorrow. So full review of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield tomorrow. That is doing some weird stuff to the green screen. Oh my god. Yeah, see, I can't even really show you guys what's going on. So I'll just give some initial impressions here. I'm in the wild area right now. It actually looks like there is a rare spawn over here. I'll go check that out in a bit. There's one of the raids with like a really, like, one of the raids with the purple beam instead of the red. Okay, so initial impressions. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. You can click on the stick. Again, you guys can't see it because of the green screen. But you can click on the stick when you're in the wild area, and it'll zoom out your camera. I didn't even know you could do that. But anyway, the sticks, fantastic. I love the sticks on this thing. They're meaty, they're big, they feel natural. I love them. D-pad, again, a little mushy, but it still feels more like a D-pad than the Joy-Cons, because the Joy-Cons straight up don't have a D-pad. And you can roll this D-pad, although because of it being mushy, you might not get what you're going for every single time. The back buttons here, which are actual macro buttons that you can program to do whatever you want, those are somewhat clicky. You can hear them. They got a little bit of click to them. But they're in a very natural position. Whenever I put my hands on this controller, these fingers right here naturally rest on those buttons, which is very nice. And then you can see we have the triggers, which again, got a little bit of click to them. And then the buttons, which again have a little bit of click to them. And the shoulder buttons are mushy. The shoulder buttons are very mushy. They have virtually no click to them. It's just mush. Overall, though, this is the way you should play handheld. This is really comfortable. Keep in mind, I literally just opened it, so I haven't played much like this. But I can already tell this is going to be immensely better than using the standard Joy-Cons. So if you're somebody who plays handheld mode a lot, maybe go for these. They are $50, so it's actually less than what you would spend on a pair of Joy-Cons, because I believe the Joy-Cons right now are like $69 for a pair. And then I believe the Pro controller is still like $80 or something like that. So I'd say they're pretty good value. I'm going to get a lot of use out of these, especially playing like Mario Maker, which I play primarily in handheld mode. And I'll be interested to try Smash with these, because I never really play Smash in handheld mode because of the Joy-Cons, but I might could actually do it with this. So overall, I really like these controllers. I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of them. The last thing we can do is just see what it looks like in the dock, which I'm sure looks ridiculous, because you actually can put these in the dock, and I'll go ahead and like edit in some footage here of it sitting in the dock. Alright, well, the Hori Split Pad Pro, I like them. I'm going to get a lot of use out of them, I'm sure. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later for a live stream. That being said, thank all you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come on the ground bags. I'll see all you guys next time. Goodbye, guys.